Hello and welcome. Almost 40% of technology degrees are earned by women, but only 5% of senior technology positions or roles are held by women. Why is that? And let's understand what it means for women who are trying to get into the world of computing and technology from someone who is driving some of these changes, particularly from a diversity point of view across the world. I'm joined by Jeannie LaDriere, Program Manager at Global Diversity Staffing Program at CISCO. Jeannie, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you, pleasure to be here.
So your own path and career in some ways reflects the way women have entered and adopted computing as a technology choice or a technology career over the years. Tell us about yourself. I mean, what made you get into this world? Though I know you're not a techie in that sense, but you've been in the space. And how's the journey been?
The journey has been wonderful, and there have been some challenges, but it's very rewarding. I'm in this career because I do like to see, some way that I can help women to succeed in their goals and succeed in their careers. Some of the biggest challenges have been, again, a lot of women don't want to go on and continue with STEM studies. So anything that we can do to help encourage them, because there are lots of opportunities out there for women who have that talent and that education. And of course, CISCO would like to be there at the forefront in helping to encourage the women to pursue them.
Right. So how is the sort of the landscape changed over the years? I mean, if you were to go back, let's say 20 years, and as you've seen it grow, how have women? How has the role of women changed? Where have they managed to succeed, and why have they not managed to succeed where they've not?
There's a variety of factors that go into that. I think over the last 20 years, we have seen fluctuations in the population at the university level of women who are entering the career, who are entering the STEM studies, who either continue or who drop out because of lack of encouragement. Globally, there are various factors that play into that. In the United States, for example, it's not uncommon for a woman to take a break in their career or actually a sabbatical time to either go into family raising or to do some additional education, and then to come back into the workforce. We find that that is a challenge in other areas. So, over the last 20 years, it's evolved, and I think we have seen that some of the numbers have been down in the women's registrations at the universities for the STEM studies. But I believe that we're starting to see a focus, that the shift that is starting to increase again, and we'd like to make sure that we can help push that.
Right. So I know this happens to women across career streams, but in technology, how do you see the level of dropouts, let's say because of family raising or additional education that you just spoke of?
Well, fortunately, a lot of women don't drop out permanently. They drop out for a little while, and depending on their individual circumstances, they'll return perhaps after a year. Some decide to stay home until their children go into school. So I think it's important for employers and for the women who are looking to re-enter the workforce to work together to understand that they still have that basic technology and that they still have that education, that talent, that desire to work, and that they need that support from the companies.
Right. So let me flip the question around. So is it in the interest of employers then to woo such women and women who are obviously strong at what they do but have to go away for a short while?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's a talent base that, if you're looking to increase your gender diversification within a company, they've already got the education, they've got the desire to learn, they've got the technical aptitude, they've got the attitude, and they want to come back in and be strong individual contributors again. So I think that's a wonderful opportunity for all employers globally to consider that workforce pool.
How do you see the trends vis-a-vis a country like the United States, where you've been, versus other countries where you also manage or look after the budget for CISCO to manage diversity programs?
Well, things are handled a little differently. In the United States, for example, a lot of our recruiting, especially at the university level, is handled through national events and conferences. So there'll be 2- and 3-day career fairs, if you will. Outside the U.S., it's more network building, so it's more of a passive recruiting activity where we will contact somebody, we'll have them come to a CISCO information day or a workshop, and then we'll develop that relationship with them. So we might not see a hire immediately, but it's something then that we can develop so we can start building our pipeline for future employees.
Right. So I asked you about that, the way the landscape has evolved, but what are the challenges that companies and individuals have faced individual women in either coming back to the workforce or even getting into the workforce in the first place?
Interesting. I guess the challenge, and in the United States, for example, a lot of our female engineering candidates have multiple offers. That's not uncommon. So I guess, you know, some of the challenges.
And you say that it's compared to their male counterparts?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Because again, everybody is looking for female engineers. In a lot of cases, a female engineer can almost write her own ticket. Especially at something like the Grace Hopper event in the US, and then I know they do it differently here in India.
Right.
But we do on-site interviews at these events, and in some cases, you know, students will get an offer within a day or two after they've attended the event. A lot of them come and interview with us. They've already got offers from other companies.
Right. So you're saying it's a problem of plenty rather than...
It's a problem of, exactly. I mean, we've got a very small pool. So, of course, everybody is fishing in that same pond for the same fish. So the challenge for, I think, women and companies is making that connection, making sure that it's a right fit for both the candidate and for the company. You know, you've got, besides the educational, what they're going to be working on, there's a cultural fit for each individual company.
Right.
So those are the challenges. The other challenge is finding those women. We have wonderful events like Grace Hopper in the US and India here, where there's exposure to the employers, but it's tapping into where are these women and how do we reach them.
Right. So, you know, for a young woman who's watching this, and let's say someone who's in college and yet to enter the workforce, what would you say? I mean, what would be the 2 or 3 reasons you would say are compelling to, you know, enter the workforce, enter the technology workforce, and then stick to it?
Definitely, like I said earlier, they can almost write their own ticket. There's a lot of people, a lot of companies who are looking to hire women. Once you're in a company, then if you perform well, you have the opportunity then to rise into management, and then on into senior management. So the opportunities are there. Once they get their foot in the door, of course, their career path is up to them. So they have to take that ownership in what's going to happen for them.
Right.
But you know, I definitely would encourage any young woman to stay in it and at least give it a try. Now, there have been some women who have done it and found out that it really wasn't what they expected. So I don't know if it was a decision that the company wasn't right, the culture wasn't right, or once they got into engineering found out that that really wasn't what they wanted to do. But at least they attempted, and you know, they tried it out and then found out what their passion was and pursued it.
Right. And the glass ceiling question, I mean, you know, can women feel more secure today that they have a chance of making it right to the top than ever before? And how would you view that?
I think there's still some challenges, and it's going to take a while to get there. We do have some examples like Sheryl Sandberg, you know, exactly. You know, we've got Padma Shri Warrior is a CTO at CISCO, so it is possible. A lot depends on, again, the culture of the company. It depends on the roles that they take and the career decision choices that they make within their organization. But I'm seeing a change where, yes, there is more demand, more appetite for female managers. So the opportunities are there if they will pursue them.
That's an optimistic note to end on. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.